There's a lot of hype behind Sean Baker's new film Anora. It's very much the hot ticket at this year's London Film Festival, and everyone I know has been clamouring for one. Since Baker's iPhone shot breakout hit Tangerine made waves back in 2015, he's been on a winning streak. And not only that, but to my surprise, this film actually took home the Palme d'Or at Cannes, something I really was not expecting from a European festival, considering his films are focused so much on the underbelly of America. There's a lot less grit than Baker's previous films. Our world here isn't America's impoverished communities, but the excesses of an oligarch's son living in New York. Baker has a great visual eye, and there's a lot of really stylish shots throughout, but it does lack the immediacy and realism of his other work. Baker's ability to work with his actors, however, is still as amazing as ever. These characters feel very fleshed out, even ones with not much screen time, and this is especially true of Gen Z members of the cast. I had a similar feeling in this that I did during Andrea Arnold's American Honey, that I feel they really captured a certain strand of early 20s wildness in an interesting and realistic manner. Ultimately, however, this is the Mikey Madison show, and she's the reason why this film works so well. And along with Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here, this is the best performance of the year. She's strong and engaging and clever, yet the word multiple people used when coming out of the film was messy. Her voice and manner of speaking feel so natural. Yet we don't often hear such fast-paced New Jersey dialogue on film. She's such a realistic character, and ranks up there with Baker's other leads. In fact, there's definitely some through lines between her and Bria Valante's character in The Florida Project. The supporting performances are also all very good, and many of them are also very realistic too, but Madison steals the show, and let's hope there's an Oscar nomination coming her way for this performance. In typical Baker fashion, the film's commentary on sex work is never spelled out for you. We see the injustice of how she's treated in society, and why she has to exist on its margins. Characters oftentimes don't even speak to her, they speak about her in front of her, only turning towards her if they need something. Even when she's not working, she's treated largely as an object, despite being an intelligent and capable woman. And, you know, a person who deserves to be treated as one. It's pretty explicitly a modern day fairy tale. The working class woman who marries her rich Prince Charming. Cinderella, in fact, is name dropped in the film, and Baker deconstructs this by showing what the power imbalance in such a relationship would actually look like. Obviously, this is nothing new, but it's nonetheless well done and does make for an interesting watch. Ultimately, and again, as usual for Baker, this is a comedy. The script is funny, and the humour, oddly enough, was a lot more broad than I was expecting. And in another Bakerism, we're also dealing with scenes and themes that's pushing the boundaries of what you can get away with portraying comedically, with scenes of violence towards our main character being performed as slapstick comedy. I really love Baker's desire to push at boundaries and make films for adults who have the intellect to know that showing something on screen does not equal an endorsement. Anora certainly doesn't fail at this. As I mentioned, Madison's character Annie is a fierce and determined lead, and the film never feels actively cruel towards her. That being said, I wouldn't say this is the roaring success that Red Rocket, a rom-com about someone who is literally grooming a 17-year-old, managed to be in this aspect. I was really enjoying the first half of the film. It's tightly paced, funny, and well made. Unfortunately, however, most of the film's second act really lost me. The pacing intentionally slows down, and we end up going around in circles in a manner that I found to be rather annoying. It's not clever, we're not learning anything new, nor is there any character development. It's just a madcap comedy with no purpose. And this goes on for a large portion of the movie's runtime. This movement is a mix of poor writing and unfortunately at times poor directing too. Once this section is over, the film picks up again, and I found the film's final act to be very moving in a bleak and realistic manner, but I cannot say the same for the bulk part of the film before this. I'm actually quite surprised this ended up winning the Palme d'Or. It's obviously a good film, and as I said, Madison is outstanding in it, but its second half really drags it down. This is definitely a downgrade for Baker compared to his previous 3 films, both in terms of filmmaking and intellect. I do recommend the film, and if you've seen it, let me know what you think, because I am somewhat surprised with how many 5-star reviews I've seen for this, because for me at least, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please consider tipping me on Ko-Fi. The link is in the description, and also in the description is the link to my podcast, the Extreme Cinema Podcast. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.